of the universal form. After this incident, Vasudeva asked his family priest Gargamuni to visit the place of Nanda Maharaj in order to astrologically calculate the future life of Krishna. Gargamuni was a great saintly sage who had undergone many austerities and penances and been appointed priest of the Yadu dynasty. When Gargamuni arrived at the home of Nanda Maharaj, Nanda Maharaj was very pleased to see him and immediately stood up with folded hands and offered his respectful obeisances. He received Gargamuni with the feeling of one who is worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He offered him a nice sitting place, and when he sat down, Nanda Maharaj offered him a warm reception. Addressing him very politely, he said, "My dear Brahmana, your appearance in a householder's place is only to enlighten. We are always engaged in household duties and are forgetting our real duty of self-realization. Your coming to our house is to give us some enlightenment about spiritual life. You have no other purpose in visiting householders. Actually, a saintly person or a Brahmana has no business visiting householders who are always busy in the matter of dollars and cents. The only reason saintly person and Brahmana go to the place of a householder is to enlighten him. If it is asked, why don't the householders go to a saintly person or a Brahmana for enlightenment? The answer is that householders are very poor-hearted. Generally, householders think that engaging in family affairs is their prime duty, and that self-realization or enlightenment in spiritual knowledge is secondary. Out of compassion only, saintly persons and Brahmanas go to householders' homes. Nanda Maharaj addressed Gargamuni as one of the great authorities in astrological science. The foretellings of astrological science, such as the currents of solar and lunar eclipses, are wonderful calculations, and by this particular science, a person can understand the future very clearly. Gargamuni was proficient in this knowledge. By this knowledge, one can also understand what his previous activities were that are caused him to enjoy or suffer in this life. We can see even nowadays that devotees are calculating this when child is born. Also, they ask some astrologers to make a chart. Like Gaur Mohan also had this opportunity. What is the name of this? Chaitanya Vallabha. Yeah, he did. But this devotee, his son is Chaitanya Vallabha, but this devotee who did chart, you know this? Sri Gauranga. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an astrologer.
Yeah. So in the same way, we can see that even in history, like Gargamuni was very learned scholar and learned astrology. So he came to the house of Nanda Maharaj, and Nanda Maharaj immediately he took the lower position, so to say. Nanda Maharaj was very humble to accept a sage in a house. That was actually the etiquette when saintly persons visited grihastas. They would welcome them very nicely. They would ask, please sit down, offer them some food and water, something to drink. And they would say, my house is now became more purified only by your coming. And in that way, Nanda Maharaj accepted Gargamuni. So we continue. Nanda Maharaj also addressed Gargamuni as the best of the Brahmanas. A Brahmana is one who is expert in the knowledge of the Supreme. Without knowledge of the Supreme Absolute, one cannot be recognized as a Brahmana. The exact word used in this connection is Brahma Vidam, which means those who know the Supreme very well. An expert Brahmana is able to give reformatory facilities to the subcastes, namely the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. The Shudras observe no reformatory performances. The Brahmanas is considered to be the spiritual master or priest for the Kshatriya and Vaishya. Nanda Maharaj happened to be a Vaishya, and he accepted Gargamuni as a first-class Brahmana. He therefore offered his two foster sons, namely Krishna and Balaram, to him to purify. Nanda stated that not only these boys, but all human beings, just after birth, should accept a qualified Brahmana as a spiritual master. So we can see Nanda Maharaj is showing by example that we should accept the spiritual master, and he invited them. And even we can see how even Krishna accepted spiritual master, who is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is showing by example this important step of accepting a spiritual master. Nowadays we meet persons that they think they are some kind of spiritual path, but they don't have a spiritual master. They are concocting something on their own. They are thinking that I'm doing spirituality on my own, and I know when I did book distribution, I met some people like that they are their own spiritual masters. But but we see that even Krishna accepted spiritual master, so he's showing us the importance of accepting a spiritual master. Upon this request, Gargamuni replied, Vasudeva has sent me to see the reformatory performances of these boys, especially Krishna's. But if I do so, it may incidentally appear that Krishna is the son of Devaki, since I am Vasudeva's family priest. By his astrological calculation, Gargamuni could understand that Krishna was the son of Devaki, which Nanda did not know. Indirectly, Gargamuni said that Krishna and Balaram were both sons of Vasudeva. Balaram was known as the son of Vasudeva because his mother Rohini was present there. But Nanda Maharaj did not know about Krishna. Gargamuni indirectly disclosed the fact that Krishna was the son of Devaki. Gargamuni also warned Nanda Maharaj that if he would perform the reformatory ceremony, then Kamsa, who was naturally very sinful, would understand that Krishna was the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. So we see that Nanda Maharaj, this play was there, that he was very advanced devotee, and he wanted to fulfill this Vatsalya rasa with Krishna, that he sees Krishna as his son. And in that way, Krishna, with his Yogamaya potency, he covered Nanda Maharaj. And Yashoda Mai also, so they cannot see Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although he showed in so many ways that he's Supreme Personality of Godhead, but still Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, they did not know. Nanda Maharaj used to say to his wife that maybe he's some kind of demigod, maybe he fall down from heavenly planets. In that way, they did not recognize Krishna, because Krishna wanted this reciprocation with his parents. I continue reading. According to astrological calculation, Devaki could not have a female child, although everyone thought that the 8th child of Devaki was female. In this way, Gargamuni intimated to Nanda Maharaj that the female child was born of Yashoda, and that Krishna was born of Devaki, and they were exchanged. Also, the female child, Durga, had informed Kamsa that the child who would kill him was already born somewhere else. Gargamuni stated, if I give your child a name, and if he fulfills the prophecy of the female child to Kamsa, then it may be that the sinful demon will come and kill this child also after the name-giving ceremony. But I do not want to become responsible for all these future calamities. So in other words, Gargamuni is saying that I will perform this ceremony, name-giving ceremony, but please be discreet, because Kamsa has so many agents that they are looking for small Krishna. He's looking for, we know that Kamsa was very afraid Krishna will kill him, and he sent many demons, many spies to find Krishna. So Gargamuni was saying to Nanda Maharaj, please keep this ceremony confidential. Don't make it known in a village. Continuing reading. On hearing the words of Gargamuni, Nanda Maharaj said, if there is such danger, then it is better not to plan any gorgeous name-giving ceremony. It would be better for you to simply chant the Vedic hymns and perform the purificatory process. We belong to the twice-born caste, and I am taking this opportunity of your presence. So please perform the name-giving ceremony without external pomp. Nanda Maharaj wanted to keep the name-giving ceremony a secret and yet take advantage of Gargamuni's performing the ceremony. When Gargamuni was so eagerly requested by Nanda Maharaj, he performed the name-giving ceremony as secretly as possible in the cowshed of Nanda Maharaj. He informed Nanda Maharaj that the son of Rohini would be very pleasing to his family members and relatives and therefore would be called Rama. In the future, he would be extraordinarily strong and therefore would be called Baladev. Gargamuni said further, because your family and the family of the Yadus are so intimately connected and attracted, his name will also be Sankarshan. This means that Gargamuni awarded 3 names to the son of Rohini, namely Balaram, Sankarshan and Baladev. But he carefully did not disclose the fact that Balaram had also appeared in the womb of Devaki and was subsequently referred to the womb of Rohini, subsequently transferred to the womb of Rohini. Krishna and Balaram are real brothers, being originally sons of Devaki. Gargamuni then informed Nanda Maharaj, as far as your son is concerned, this child has taken different bodily complexions in different yugas. First of all, he assumed the color white, then the color red, and then the color yellow. And now he had assumed the color black. Besides that, he was formerly the son of Vasudeva. Therefore, his name should be Vasudeva as well as Krishna. Some people will call him Krishna, and some will call him Vasudeva. But one thing you must know, this son has many, many other names and activities due to his different pastimes. So we see even Gargamuni is explaining to Nanda Maharaj that this is actually Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he appeared in many different yugas. But still, Nanda Maharaj in later pastimes did not know who Krishna was, so to say. This is what is wonderful about this. And importance also was there of these samskaras, we can see. Because nowadays, even some devotees think that these samskaras, these ceremonies are not so important. But we see from Krishna book and Nanda Maharaj was performing that, so we should follow in the footsteps of great devotees like Nanda Maharaj, and he was very eager to perform this name-giving ceremony for his sons. And we know that actually Garga Muni gave the names, Krishna and Balaram. He gave the names to two sons of Nanda Maharaj. Because Garga Muni was very advanced, he could see that these are supreme personalities of Godhead. And in that way, we should take example from this Krishna book that these ceremonies are very important and we should follow. We should do every ceremony what is in our power, in our, so to say, if we have opportunity, we should do these ceremonies for our children. Garga Muni further hinted to Nanda Maharaj that his son would also be called Giridhari because of his uncommon pastime of lifting Govardhan hill. Even in that time, Garga Muni could see the future, we can say. He was a saintly person. Even in that time, when Krishna was very little, when he was a baby, he could see. He could call him also Giridhari. He could saw that Krishna, he will lift the Govardhan hill. Since Garga Muni was an astrologer, he could understand everything, past and future, and thus he said, I know everything about his activities and names, but others do not know. This child will be very pleasing to all the cowherd men and cows, being very popular in Vrindavan. He will be the cause of all good fortune for you. Because of his presence, you will overcome all kinds of material calamities, despite opposing elements. Amazing, he could see immediately. And we have example that when Putana came to Vrindavan to kill Krishna as a small child, she smeared her breast with poison, and she came there. She wanted to feed Krishna, and she took a very nice form as a very beautiful woman. And when she appeared in Vrindavan, these inhabitants of Vrindavan, they thought this is Lakshmi herself. This is the goddess of fortune came here to give obeisances to Krishna, and they were very captivated by Putana's beauty. And we can see that although she was Rakshasi, she was a very nasty demon, so to say. But still, tall and big. Still, she was powerful. That she could take this form of a beautiful woman, and that everybody was captivated by her form. But when she came to Krishna, and when she looked at small Krishna, immediately something in her heart told her that this child is very powerful. And Putana acknowledged this small child can destroy this whole material world. She could see immediately in Krishna this kind of power. But still, immediately Krishna covered this knowledge. We read in Krishna book. Immediately when she thought about how powerful Krishna is, immediately at another moment she was again covered, and she tried to kill Krishna. But we know that it did not go well for Putana. Garga Muni continued to say, My dear king of Raja, in his previous births, this child many times protected righteous persons from the hands of rogues and thieves whenever there was political disruption. Your child is so powerful that anyone who will become a devotee of your boy will never be troubled by enemies. Just as demigods are always protected by Lord Vishnu, the devotees of your child will always be protected by Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This child will grow in power, beauty, opulence in everything, on the level of Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, I would advise that you protect him very carefully so that he may grow without disturbance. In other words, Garga Muni informed Nanda Maharaj that because he was a great devotee of Lord Narayana, the Lord had given him a son equal to himself. At the same time, Garga Muni indicated that this son would be disturbed by so many demons and that Nanda should therefore be careful and protect him. In this way, Garga Muni convinced Nanda Maharaj that Narayana himself had become his son. In various ways, he described the transcendental qualities of his son. After giving this information, Garga Muni returned to his home. Nanda Maharaj began to think of himself as the most fortunate person, and he was very satisfied to receive such a benediction in this way. So we can see again Nanda Maharaj is telling, but we see that Nanda Maharaj is telling, Garga Muni is telling to Nanda Maharaj, please protect this child. But we know that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, does not need protection. And in many ways, he actually protected his father, Nanda Maharaj, in many opportunities. Krishna saved so many of his devotees, and he killed so many demons in his life. So the time is almost over. I would like to stop here. This pastime of little Krishna and Garga Muni's auspicious visit to Nanda Maharaj's house. Krishna Bhog ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari.